Hi, my name is Janice Fung, and as some of you may know, I recently quit my corporate job, and for the past few months I have been living off my savings, which means I have been on a relatively tight budget. Now, I try my best to cook all my meals at home because that's the best way to save money, but what I've noticed more and more is that there are places in Sydney that offer amazing meal deals for really cheap and for quite a bit of food. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to go breakfast, lunch and dinner at these meal deal places, and then I'm going to try and recreate these meals at home to see if eating in is really cheaper than going out. I hope that concept kind of makes sense to you because it makes sense in my head, but if it doesn't right now, it'll make sense sooner or later. Anyway, let's go. Okay, it is now 10:41. The breakfast at IKEA stops at 11 on the spot, so I do think that we will be able to make it in time.
Any other meals?
Can I pay by card, please? Okay, so for my first meal of the day, I've gone to IKEA and got myself a big breakfast, essentially. The entire cost of the meal it's $4 for the whole plate of food. See, I am a member of IKEA family, which is completely free to join, so I get a discount on all the food. There's eggs, there's hash browns, there are 2 sausages, a tomato, 2 rashers of bacon. Like, what more can you ask for? Which is why I come here more often than not, because it's so easy and quick and delicious. The only thing that I wish that they would give as complimentary as well is if they could provide toast, because there's barely any carbs, it's all protein. It's so good. I mean, like, what more do you want for $4, man? Just need some salt, otherwise it's good. Hi, can I please have a a small soy cat, please?
Small
Soy cat.
takeaway, yeah?
Yes. Thank you very much. I actually paid $4.50 for this regular soy cappuccino, which makes it more expensive than my entire breakfast that I just had. I really need to stop drinking coffee, and I've tried instant coffee and I just really don't like it, and whenever I add soy to my instant coffee, there's like lumps that come up. But I know that I can save a huge amount if I just stop drinking 1 soy cap a day. I'll try, but yeah, it is really expensive. Oh well.
No
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Arigatou.
No edge.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. So for today I have my beef udon, and this is just a regular one, and it's $6.90 for the bowl, which is, I think, a pretty fair price, because in Sydney at some Japanese restaurants you actually pay upwards of $10 just to get a plain udon. The reason I love this place so much is because you can get very affordable priced food very, very quickly, and it's always delicious. Is it chicken or is it just pork?
Pork.
Just pork? Thank you so much. Thanks for making it for me. Thanks very much. Have a good night. Okay, so for dinner, I have got myself a banh mi, which is a Vietnamese pork roll. It's got a bunch of veggies, including cilantro, carrots, cucumber, spring onions, and then it's got a layer of pork, and then they've spread like pate on it as well. I just wish it was hot, like if I could have it toasted, that would be amazing. But other than that, it's generally pretty good. And at the price that it is, which is like $5, it's amazing. But it definitely tastes better. I'm now at the supermarket. Let's get all the ingredients so we can make everything that we've eaten at home. Thanks so much. Thanks, you too. So for breakfast today, I'm gonna recreate exactly what I had at IKEA yesterday. And so we'll have half a tomato, one sausage, one piece of bacon, and a hash brown, and 2 eggs as well. We will be timing how long it takes for me to do this. The time is currently 12:34. I know you're probably thinking, it is past noon. How can you call this breakfast? But long story, we're having breakfast right now. This actually took me 20 minutes to make. I think I could have made it in 15 minutes, to be honest. So time-wise, it's not too bad. How does it compare to IKEA? Not bad. And the price of this home-cooked meal is this number. I don't know the exact number, I have to calculate it afterwards, but I do know that it's around the same as how much I paid for the big breakfast at IKEA. And given that it is around the same price, if I had to choose between cook or buy, I think for the big breakfast, I'd actually buy. It was so easy, it was so convenient. I didn't have to do any washing up. I can literally just eat and then leave. And also, I don't really feel like such a big breakfast every single day. But if I were to cook for myself, I'd actually have to buy more than I need, which means that I'll have to eat it up, which is a very first world problem, which is why I'm saying if I had to choose between one or the other, given the price is very similar, I choose to eat. I mean, I choose to buy. I always choose to eat. Moving on to lunch. My bad, I actually mean coffee, because we haven't had coffee yet, so let's make coffee. I'll be real honest here. The coffees that I get at a coffee shop is definitely like amazing. But this is really good too, and I just really need to reevaluate my coffee budget that I've set for myself and be like, that is way too much. Just need to cut and just have it as like a weekend treat. So the conclusion of that is, yes, I will still buy, but I will buy less. For the beef udon, in order to recreate it, I'm going to change things up a little bit. So I'm going to use a miso base, which I do have at home, but I'm going to check the price in the Asian grocer just so that I can calculate how much it is in terms of its proportion. I need to get beef, and I also need to get tomatoes, which I have at home. It is now time to recreate the udon. I'm actually eating this for dinner instead because it is getting quite cold and I prefer having an udon as opposed to a bread roll. Okay, let me just try the soup. Oh man, it's so good. The tomato makes it so good. Do you know what? If I had to choose between buy and cook for the udon, I would definitely choose cook. It took less than 10 minutes for me to cook this. And if I calculated correctly, this should have costed less than $3. I actually think this tastes better than what I had in the restaurant because there's actually more udon and it's not as salty as the beef that they had at the restaurant. So for this one, cook takes the trophy. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna eat this and then we will go to our last contestant, the pork roll. All right, we are going to try and recreate the Vietnamese pork roll. The thing is, I don't actually have any pork, but I do have a chicken fillet that is about to be expired, so we're gonna be using that instead of the pork. We can play around with how we want the roll to be like. I just want to say that I am not a great chef, so we're gonna take some shortcuts here and there because I read sort of how to make a banh mi online and it takes 2 hours prep and we're not gonna be prepping for 2 hours. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so I've got my chicken, I've got my cucumber, and I've got my Vietnamese bread rolls, coleslaw that is washed and ready to eat. I literally have 30 minutes to cook this before I have to leave the house, so I think that we are okay for time, but we shall see. Okay, the chicken smells really, really nice, even if I must say so myself. Well done, Janice. Well done. I think I burnt the bread just a little bit, but it's like not too much, so it's still got a really good crunch. That's not too burnt, right? That's like the perfect, ooh, that is hot. So this is the Vietnamese pork roll that I have created in 15 minutes. I know authentic ones actually take a lot longer, but we're in a rush, so this is what we've got. Without further ado, I'm not going to keep talking. Let's just try the Janice Phung Banh Mi. The chicken is amazing. Is it as good as what I had at the shop? Absolutely not. But is this delicious? Hell yeah. If I had to choose between buying or cooking a banh mi, then absolutely I would buy. There's no way I could try and emulate the sauces and the way that they marinate the meats. But if I just wanted a simple chicken roll, then yeah, this would suffice. I think this is good enough. So in terms of this competition, when we're talking about the Vietnamese rolls, I would definitely buy. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm gonna finish this so that I can rush off and get out of the house, and then I'll come back later for the conclusion. Alright, so in conclusion, would I choose to buy or would I choose to cook? Well, for this specific video, based on the food that I had, I think I would actually choose to buy. I mean, the IKEA breakfast was so easy, I didn't have to do any washing up. The Vietnamese pork roll / chicken roll, there's so much prep that goes into marinating the meats, that goes into preparing the sauces, that I simply failed at trying to recreate the Vietnamese chicken roll, and I'm sorry that I even called it that. Having said that, I really do need to reevaluate how much I spend on coffee, because this just slapped me right in the face in terms of how ridiculously much I spend on coffee. Alright, thank you so much for sticking till the end. I know this video was a very long one. If you're still here, let me know in the comments below, what is your go-to cheap and easy meal that you either buy or cook? And if you know like how much it is as well, I'd be really interested to see how that compares to what I regularly eat. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking till the end. I post new videos every Tuesdays and Fridays, so be sure to check them out if you have time. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!